Hi, I'm Sonia and welcome to my channel, Life Over 60. February 1st already, can you believe it? The month of January has just flown by. In today's video, I want to talk about resolutions. Tell me, did you make a New Year's resolution this year? I was going to, and then I read a study where almost 80% of people don't follow through on their resolutions come February. They kind of just throw their hands up in the air and say, throw in the towel, if you will. And this year I decided not to do a resolution. And the reason being is, I feel I sound like a broken record every year. I say I'm going to do the same things year after year. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And in some respects, these are just all parts of part of a healthy lifestyle, is to, eat well, exercise, be healthy, that kind of thing. But I always kind of said, oh, I got to lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds or whatever it is. And this year I said, no, I'm not going to make those blanket statements anymore. I am instead going to focus on two key things that I do want to do this year. One is train for a marathon, and the second is to really work on my body in terms of strength training. Just to continue with that, continue being consistent, because strength training, to ever see any kind of tone or definition in your muscles, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. So I set myself to say, this year, this is what my focus is, and giving myself a year for progress. Well, in terms of the marathon, I'm giving myself till November because that's when the marathon is. So I have my goals. Now, it's just not going to happen on its own. Just kind of wishing to train for a marathon or to be more consistent in the gym, it's not going to happen by wishing it. I need a plan. You need a plan. You need to figure out how are you going to get from A to Z, right? And so I've mapped out my training plan for the marathon for the year, and every week I also plan what it is I'm going to do in the gym. And when I'm in the gym, I record everything I do so that I can track my progress. So I have plans on how I'm going to go about achieving the two things that I want to achieve. But it's not just that. You need a reason. Like, why do you want to train for a marathon? Why do you want to, get stronger? Why do you want to do whatever it is that you want to do? So for me, I have my why for both things. First of all, for the marathon, I have done plenty of marathons in the past, over the past 30 years. But this is going to be my last marathon. And the reason for that is because my toes and feet are giving me issues and running is becoming more difficult. So my plan will be to walk the whole marathon. And I know I can do it. I know what the mileage is I have to do every single week from now until November. But my why is this will be my last marathon, and I will do it in Athens, Greece, because that's where marathons started. I find that almost a fitting end to my marathon career. My why for continuing to be consistent in the gym is to be stronger, to have good bones. Certainly something that's really important as we get older is to have strong bones. And I'll tell you something that happened to me a couple months ago. One night I was out with my partner and my kids, and we were walking the dogs, and the day had been raining, and then it just got super cold. So when we went outside, it was super slippery. So get onto my driveway, and I fell. My feet went right out from under me, and I landed like on my hip, and it was really sore, but okay. Then we kept on walking and went around the block, and the road was like a skating rink. It truly was. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know, and pretend we're skating with our boots here. Well, yeah, that lasted like 2 seconds before down I went again. And you can see here, maybe, I got a lovely scar. I had a big gash in my elbow, but nothing broke. I ended up with a big bruise on my hip. That's why I want to continue with strength training, is so that I have strong bones. So it's the strength training, but it's also eating properly, eating enough protein. And again, that's always been one of my goals. So in order to be consistent in the gym, to have my strong bones, I need to be consistent with weight training, and I need to eat adequate protein. So that's the plan. With these 2 goals, I mean, the byproduct of it will likely be, I will lose some weight. I'll lose kind of the weight that I've been wanting to lose. I'll be eating healthier, because in order to achieve these goals, there are other things that you have to do. I mean, you've got to drink enough water. You got to be hydrated. You have to eat your protein. You have to make sure that your diet is healthy and good. And, you know, you'll get these things while you're working towards achieving that goal that you have in mind. And the thing too is, by being consistent, by consistently doing my runs, by consistently going to the gym, I mean, the new habits will form. New habits in terms of, oh, make sure I drink my water every day, make sure that I do this and that. It will happen because you're being consistent. You're making those new habits. Something else that I think, you know, it's really important. Well, I guess there's a number of things that are really important when it comes to achieving those goals and really wanting them to, and really wanting to achieve them, is remember your why. Always remember your why. It's your goal. It's not somebody else's goal. It has to be yours. You have to own it. You have to want it and go after it. You have to be consistent. You can't just haphazardly train. Like I say, I've done a lot of marathons, and you got to train. A marathon's a long way to run. 26 miles, 42.2 kilometers. It's not something you take lightly. It's something that you're serious about if you want to do, if you want to be successful in the race. You also have to find an approach that works for you. You have to be like, and it has to be realistic. For me to say I want to run 3 times a week and I want to go to the gym 5 days a week, that's realistic for me because I'm retired. I have the time to do that. But if you're like, you know, a parent, a full-time job, you know, all the responsibilities that come with being a parent, that might not be realistic for you. You have to find something that works, where it's realistic, because otherwise, if it's not realistic, you're just setting yourself up for failure, right? The other thing too is you need a plan. I can't just say I'm gonna go run a marathon in November. No, I need to know how much, like started 2 weeks ago, how much do I need to run every day? And because I haven't been running, I need to get myself up to a certain baseline and then start increasing my long distances. I do have time. There's plenty of time actually to get the long distance runs in and to, you know, do that. But I have to start now, building my base and getting to where I need to be. And the one thing too, or I guess the last thing too, maybe I want to say is, I don't believe in perfection. I believe in being consistent. I believe in having a plan. I believe in making things realistic and all of that. But I do not believe in perfection, because I feel if you try to be perfect, you actually set yourself up for failure, because things happen in our lives. You know, let's say, okay, Sunday I got to go for a long run. That's my day for a long run. Well, oops, maybe someone got sick, or maybe you're sick, or something happened. Okay, it's not the end of the world, because you can look at your schedule for the following week and say, I'll go do my long run on Monday or on Tuesday. Or if you're really sick, you may have to forego it for a week, but knowing that that's okay, because you get right back at it as soon as you're well enough. But consistency is important. you know, doing things 95% of the time according to plan. Great. Leave yourself some wiggle room. I'd love to know if you have, you know, any plans things that you want to be doing this year. How's it going? What have you found are your keys to success? You know, we all have our little tricks and things, right? And I love hearing what other people are doing in terms of realizing what it is that they set out to do for themselves. I will have another makeup video coming shortly, another comparison video. I've just ordered a couple of products and I'm looking forward to testing them and putting them to the test against each other, because one is more high-end than the other. And I always like to see something that's more affordable. How does it perform against something that is, you know, more expensive? Anyways, look for that in the next couple of weeks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Then you'll be notified every time I put out a video. That's it for today. You have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.